your database command your business. We may have some others that come in, and that is great. Couple things. If you're new here, please drop your email address in the chat. There's also a free downloadable that's going to cover a lot of the things that we're talking about today. So for those of you that may not know me, my name is Tawnya Mosgrove. I'm currently the Director of Coaching and Training for United Agent Services Exec Assist. We are a team of 3 market centers in Utah, and we also have clients across the country. My background is in driving database return on investment. It is literally what I've done my entire career. And I've had the ability to be in a really exclusive place in Labs Advisors to see how Command has come around. So today I want to talk about the thing that Gary, if you were at family reunion last week, the message that continued to resonate was your business is your database. And we all know right now that real estate is a little scary. We're in this place, right? There's not enough listings on the market. There's talk about the mortgage rates going up. There's talk about the additional interest rates going up. And so we know that for us, right, that creates a little bit of stress. And for our consumer, our clients, the people in our world, it creates stress for them as well. And so what I want to walk through today is something that we have really built for our agents across the country and are seeing tremendous results out of. And that is the key to your sphere of influence. So when we talk sphere of influence, the very first thing that I do when I meet with a prospective client is to really identify your database demographic. Most people that I meet with say, oh yeah, I have a database. It's in my phone. I have a database. It's in a spreadsheet. I have some people over here and some people over here. And most of the time they can tell you things like, oh, this is a past client. Oh, this is a preferred vendor. This is my neighbor. But as we move into this realm of artificial intelligence, the Netflix effect, the Amazon effect, we really have to get down to the nitty gritty. Who are the people in your database? What is their demographic? Are they first-time home buyers or are they empty nesters? Because the reality is the messaging, even a phone call to a first-time home buyer is going to be significantly different than that of an empty nester. We know from some of the data that came out last week that those of us 35 or older, and I didn't think I'd ever be happy to be in that demographic, but I am, because those of us that are 35 and older tended not to have as big of an impact last year and currently due to COVID. We're still spending money, folks. We're still buying homes, we're selling homes, we're buying second investment properties or second homes. So it's really important that you know those 3 key sort of indicators. Where are they on the arc? Right. And another group, I have empty nesters, but another subset of that is retirees, right? Like I'm an empty nester, but I'm not ready to retire yet. But you're going to have that other segment that, they may want to go into a condo. They may want to go to a 0 lot with, with some HOA, and they don't have to do anything but go out and golf and do whatever they want to do. So the first thing that we would work through is really identifying who are the people in your database by these big segments. And then we're going to get nitty gritty. And these are just 4, little subsets. So to know me is to know that I love animals, dogs and cats. I've got dogs on here. So we know that people connect with people that are similar to them. So what we're trying to identify in our database demographic is what are those commonalities? So if I like dogs and you like dogs, there's automatically going to be a little bit more trust than, hey, this is just my real estate agent calling to see if I'm ready to buy or sell again. Other things, coffee, golf, music, are they into yoga? really who are they and how do you have a cohesive message with them? So part of the PDF that we have in there is talking about building your brand story or your connection story. And a lot of times when I ask an agent specifically, what is your brand? What is your value proposition? What's your story? And here's what I hear. Hey, my name is Tanya, and I sold 52 homes last year. And I love working with first-time home buyers, and I've lived in this area for 20 years, and I want to help you buy or sell. That's great. I don't know anything about you. Like, I don't know. Like, if you hate dogs, we're probably not going to connect. So when I am talking with agents and operations folks around the country, I want to dig a little bit deeper. I want to build your connection story. So Nick is a real client. He is a single agent, and we went through this exercise. And honestly, his original brand story was, I'm a single agent. I've been doing this a couple years. I like connecting with people. And that was it. That's all I had. So we started digging a little deeper. And these are the 4 things that really stuck out. He's a tech guy. If you have a problem in tech, he's your guy. He loves home technology. So the smart homes, he's really big into it. He knows a lot about it. He's a great resource, not just for his clients, but everybody he meets. He loves dogs. He has a German Shepherd named Parker, and Parker is his guy. Like, they're together all the time. The other interesting thing is that Nick is a former policeman. And so if you're starting to see a theme here, tech guy, German Shepherds, former policeman, but he feels very strongly about, those out there protecting and serving. And so I think that's a really great way to connect with people. He also loves to travel, and he likes to have neat experiences. So I'm going to pop you over. This is an example of a social post we just did this week on Monday. It was National Walk Your Dog Day. Now, if you're like me and you're scrolling through Facebook and you have any amount of real estate agents that you are friends with, I guarantee you're going to see things like, we're low on inventory. We need your house. We need you to sell your house. Do you know anybody that wants to buy, sell, or invest? Hey, this is my new house on the market. It's 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Hey, this just sold. Congratulations to my clients. And those are great. And we have to tell that story, but those are not the pieces that connect. And so when we look at this post, again, just a quick picture of Parker and his agent Nick, and we posted it. This received 62 interactions, so likes and loves. It also scored 5 comments, and people were creative enough to throw in their own images or gifts or whatever. But the point of it is that people were connecting because it was National Walk Your Dog Day, because it was Nick's dog in the picture. It wasn't a house. And so you'll see this, and I encourage you, go out on Facebook, find the folks that are telling a personal narrative. And it's not like, hey, I'm having a barbecue, come on out, but it's telling a little bit about who they are, what's important to them. So this is a good example of what we try to build. When we're talking about commanding your database, these are the things we need to know, right? Who's our demographic? Who are we talking to? What are the connection points from what I'm passionate about to what the people in my ecosystem are passionate about? And again, they don't have to be passionate about every single thing that you're passionate about, but if you can make a solid connection on dogs or golf or philanthropy of some sort, it could be art. You create a stronger connection that lasts. It's a lifetime relationship, not a transactional relationship. So the one thing that is really important is that we create a cohesive connection story. So obviously that was a social media post. It was on his Facebook and his Instagram. It will also wind up, there will be something related to Parker in his SOI newsletter that goes out this month, because there's something related to Parker, his dog, or dogs in general in his SOI newsletter every single month. He knows that in May, I believe it is, he's doing a partnership with a local humane society, and they're going to do a local dog walk in one of the parks, and people get to show up with their animals, have photos taken, and they just have to donate. So donate some pet food, blankets, litter, whatever it is. That's how they get into the event. So again, every month they're going to get an email, and clearly there is a Parker connection, a dog connection. We're going to start to see those connection points on social media. It's going to tie into our events. And the key here is none of these three matter without the personal touch. And so when we're talking personal touch, we're talking picking up the phone and having a conversation, and not necessarily traditional lead gen. If you were at family reunion last week, we talked a lot about care calls. How are you? What's going on in your world? We're hitting the year mark that we've lived in this kind of alternative universe. Personal touches can also be, hey, I was driving by your neighborhood the other day. You popped into my head. I needed to give you a call. I see your beautiful pit bull on your Facebook all the time, and I wanted to make sure you knew I'm doing this really fun dog walk event on May 5th. All of a sudden, it's like we're just leaving little breadcrumbs. And where I see the most probably fallout for agents is that we're not making the cohesive connection. If I see something in an email, it doesn't necessarily, there's not a connection to their social media or their events or the phone calls that we're having. And we know, right? We know what it takes to even convert a lead. We know it takes 12 touches, right, to convert a cold lead. So when we're talking about our SOI that we've probably not been overly intentional with, or we've been intentional, but it's been haphazard. It's not been consistent. There's no cohesiveness to what we're doing. It becomes a little disjointed. And so we know from just the results that we see, those businesses that can define the people in their database, the demographic, their interest, and how they connect to your brand story. And then we create a cohesive chain across every place that they see you. You start to see results. So when I say define an execution strategy, I'm really looking more than anything at how do we do this without killing ourselves, without being like, oh my gosh, it's Wednesday and I haven't posted this yet. So what I'm going to tell you here, and this is not a sales pitch for other services, but if you are a single agent, or if you are an admin and it's you and a couple agents and you literally are outside of bandwidth, like there's nothing else you can add to your plate, at Exec Assist, we have options for all of these to help you out. We are not the only ones. There are leverage plans available to you that you can develop an execution strategy and have someone else execute on your behalf. So for social media, we like to do a month by month plan. Now, if we're planning for a full year, and I know when my events are, obviously that's going to be built into that plan. But we literally, a month at a time, have every post. What is it going to be? We have a calendar. What's the post going to be about? Have the graphic ready, and we schedule posts every week. So typically on Sundays or Mondays, the whole week then gets scheduled out to post. Why? Because we don't have to think about it anymore. Why do we only do a week at a time? Because we also want to make sure we're highlighting our real estate, right? Like at the end of the day, we're a real estate business, but we use the 80-20 rule. And so we really only post real estate content on Wednesdays and Fridays. And sometimes that content is, hey, it's, we're changing seasons. These are the things you need to be thinking about. Or, if you're looking to sell and you're holding an open house, here's how to do so safely. But we build that out so that we have placeholders on Wednesdays and Fridays for anything that gets listed, sold. If we ever get back to the place where we would even need a price improvement, we would do a price improvement. If listings stay on the market long enough to have an open house, we're going to, target those open houses on Friday. But the goal is schedule them out. The same is for email engagement. So our strategy at Exec Assist and for the clients that we support is that every month on the 15th of the month or the business day closest to the 15th, we send out an SOI newsletter. And that SOI newsletter, guys, really doesn't have a lot to do with real estate. So if we went clear back to the first slide, it's about who are the people in our database? What's my brand connection story that I want to tell? So in the case of Nick typically has a tech tip. So like a smart home tip, something coming up, the best device. Is it Alexa? Is it the little Google one? You see how much I know about them. But whatever it is, he always has a piece in his SOI about that. There's, like I said, there's always something dog related. So it could be a pet of the month. He has partnered with the Humane Society. It could be a pet that is looking to be adopted. But it's really more personal. It could be just about, hey, we're so happy it was 50 degrees this week and the snow is going away. And we got out and took a walk at the park. But those are the things that we're doing. And our SOI knows that those are going to hit their inbox on or around the 15th every single month. We start working on those on the first of the month. The first Monday of the month, we're working on the SOI, and it is built into our time blocks. We want to make sure that we're providing value to the segment. So again, I said SOI on the 15th. Well, we also have a weekly sales pipeline email that goes out on Fridays. That is only to people that are actively looking to buy or sell. And it's all real estate, and it's all about what's going on in your local market, because that's what that segment of our database needs to know. What is happening right now? What open houses are you having? Is there anything coming up that I need to know about? So it's really important. That first step, the first domino, guys, is knowing your people. We also, again, the SOI newsletter is where we highlight events. So social, email, personal touches, and events all comes together. Well, we're making sure that people know that there's an invite out or a save the date. We're giving them little breadcrumbs to connect us. Same thing for events and touches. Define an annual calendar. If you can do 4 events and or drop off touches, pick up, drop by, pick up, whatever you want to call them, touches a year, and you are consistent, and you're doing it in a way that is simple, scalable, and replicable, you'll win. Where people get overwhelmed is they get really creative. And instead of building on a successful event and doing it again the next year, they decide they're going to do something crazy. Well, if you know Leslie and Andy Peters, they started a pumpkin patch event when Leslie first started in business, before Andy was even in real estate. And it was super small. And now it is a blockbuster event. Like when I say huge, it's unfathomable, but they never deviated. It is the same weekend every year. They have the same vendors. So it becomes simple, right? And they've just learned to scale it. And then we come to calls. Calls, the purpose of the call is not to ask for business. It's to build a relationship first and become a trusted source. So if you're asking good questions, if you're having quality conversations, you're going to organically evolve into the who do you knows looking to buy, sell, or invest. But the first step is you just have to have a conversation, right? As Cody Gibson said, the best script is hello. This is not complicated. People want to overcomplicate this. What is complicated is when we're just trying to fly by the seat of our pants. So part of what we'll be building together is your execution strategy. What makes sense for the size of your business, and how can you successfully execute consistently? And it may be that you're at a place where you can't do 4 different newsletters that go to different segments a month. So we define what is doable for you, and then we create a scalable plan so that as your business grows, you continue to grow all of this cohesive structure around it. So this is, if you know me at all, I am a data nerd. Numbers don't lie. They tell a story. We need to pay attention to them. So this is one of my favorite quotes from Darren Hardy. Track every action that relates to every area of your life you want to improve. All winners are trackers. And I'm going to tell you that when you're able to show results, not only does it create like a little bit of like, whoa, we did it, but it creates buy-in. Agents don't necessarily want to do all the other stuff, but if we can say, look, over 2020, and this is one of our agents, this is her SOI results, our open rate was 49% in an industry average of 15%. So they outperformed, this client of ours outperformed threefold, right? Now, what's really important are total clicks and click rate. These are the things you need to track for your emails, but you also should be looking at your social, looking at your return on investment on events and touches. But just here for this example, we know industry-wide that right now, real estate related content emails that go out have around a 1% click rate. So 9.9, again, 10 times what the average is, but total clicks of 503 clicks. So what that means is that over the course of the year, there was such content that it drove somebody to want more information. And so not only are we sending out the emails, but guys, on our side, we're also putting back into the hands of our agents, hey, this is who opened and clicked. These are people that are literally raising their hands and saying, your email appealed to me, your social media content appealed to me, and I want to get into a deeper relationship with you. And so when we looked overall for all of our agents in 2020 who are running this game plan, we had produced over $10 million in potential GCI, gross commission income in and this should be 2020, forgive my 2021. That's huge. That is huge. And so that's what we want to teach you how to do. Again, this is my passion project. If I can make things simple and executable in small bites, that's what I want to do for you. You don't need necessarily to outsource everything. You just need to know how to put all the dominoes in place. So I'm going to throw a link into the chat, which is a registration chat link. Here's what it's going to be. You're going to get 12 weekly videos. So a video a week that you'll have access to, and you'll have access to the whole 12 weeks for a year. And those are going to be, again, bite-sized chunks, hour-long videos that cover every piece from identifying your demographic and how to do that, how to identify your advocates and your core advocates, how to build out an executable plan and hold it accountable. Not just interaction, but also return on investment is what we're doing, generating business. Because it's not enough just to do. What I want to make sure of is, are we building a sales pipeline out of the relationship process? You will have access to me on a weekly 30-minute live Q&A every Thursday, where we're going to come in and you're going to be able to ask all the questions that you came up with from the previous week's video. It's going to be where you get to mastermind with everybody else who's struggling through the same things or have come up with a really, really neat solution to what we were talking about. You will have a complete toolbox. So every spreadsheet, every process, everything you would need to execute for the year. What do you need to do to command your database so that it commands your business? Again, 12 videos, an hour long every single week. You'll have access to them for a year, a weekly 30-minute live Q&A with me, and then a toolbox that you will get at the beginning. As soon as you register and pay, you get your toolbox so that we can execute. It's $199. Once you register, you'll get an invoice, and then you will be added to the private YouTube channel for the videos, and you will get a link so that you can download your toolbox. I want to make sure that we're providing value. And what I have seen over the course of my career with database is, for whatever reason, we know that the gold, if we're looking for the rainbow and we're looking for the gold is in our database. We have to be intentional. We have to have a plan. And most people just get in the weeds. And I'm here to get you out of the weeds and get you into action and producing results. So thank you very much. I will open it up. If you have questions real quick, I'm going to drop the link into the chat. And I can do that real quick. Get there. So again, when you click on this link, it's going to allow you to register for the class. Once we do that, I will get invoices sent out and your download link so that you can get your toolbox. There is a free PDF tool at the top of the chat for everybody here. And again, if you have questions, please let me know. I'd love to answer any questions you might have. Well, thank you all for being here today. I appreciate it. If you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am available if you just want a private consult and want to mastermind around some of the things going on in your business. Please reach out to me. My email, I'm going to throw in the chat real quick. And thank you again, guys. I appreciate you being here today.